Welcome to Tales Over Ales. What's Brewin? We're your hosts, Jill,
Jess,
Anthony,
Michaela.
During this podcast, we will be doing a power hour. So when you hear this sound, we will be doing a shot. Feel free to join us, but please do so responsibly.
Tales Over Ales.
What's Brewin?
Proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And today we have some friends of ours named Dan and Casey. So we say hello to you and thanks again for joining us today. We're gonna drink some beer and talk about the good old USA.
MERICA. Wow, that was awesome.
Cheers! Cheers to MERICA!
America!
We're all here again. We're all having our power hour. It's a very special edition of Tales Over Ales.
What's Brewin?
Oh, you guys didn't leave me hanging. That's awesome. We have guests in the studio today, and we're also doing an American version. So instead of saying oi, we're going to say
America!
We have Dan and Casey here today. Hi, guys.
Hi.
Are you excited to be here?
Super excited.
Have you heard the folklore that's revolves around
Yes.
this?
Dan's been
Absolutely.
talking about it all week.
Oh, good. Well, I hope you didn't waste anything. You gotta save it for
Well, I've been saving all my best stuff.
All right, well, that's great. It's 4th of July weekend. Everyone excited? I love the 4th of July.
Me too.
Yeah.
Barbecue.
Barbecue.
The liquor store had a line down the street today, as well as the fireworks store and the beer distributor. So.
Oh my gosh.
I believe it though.
Yeah.
When we were going grocery shopping today, I was like, I almost feel like we shouldn't go this weekend.
Oh, I went to that too. It was packed.
Yeah.
Super packed.
Well, I just ran into Wegmans to get a 12-pack, and it was like 40
Wait,
minutes
that's some
later.
good coupons?
She only goes to the guy where the coupons are. Fun fact about Danny and Casey. They got engaged last week. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
We're so happy for you. It's going to be so exciting. And, just to make sure that you guys are prepared for marriage.
MERICA!
We are going to play a little newly engaged Would You Rather.
Oh boy.
Okay, so, Danny, you're up first.
All right.
And these questions you need to answer about Casey. Okay?
Okay.
This is Would Casey Rather.
Gotcha.
White Claw or Truly?
I'd say Truly. She likes the new flavors that came out, and are they cheaper?
No, they're all expensive.
She has expensive things.
They're all expensive.
Yeah,
Is
but
he
there's
right?
no laws when you're drinking claws.
That's true.
That's true.
Is he right?
Yeah.
Okay. Burpees or sit-ups?
Oh my god, she loves them all. She hates burpees though. She just recently did a workout where for the whole week, the first move for 30 minutes or something was burpees. So I think now she hates burpees.
Every 30 seconds started with burpees. It was horrible. It's the
Oh
worst
my
workout in my life.
That's like way too many burpees.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're right.
America!
Okay, and the last one for you, Danny, is Would Casey rather her only mode of transportation to be a donkey or a giraffe?
Giraffe. Hands down.
Is that true?
It's
You guys
just
have this
such a
discussion?
majestic animal.
No, but
Who would
when
choose
we went to Vegas to see you guys, we stopped at that place on the way where the donkeys were there.
Oh
and
my
it
goodness.
kept like sticking its head in our car door, and it was freaking me out. So I probably would pick
Pick a
giraffe
giraffe.
at this
Yeah,
point.
it's old mining town in Vegas where they just abandoned it and they left all of the donkeys there. So literally all over this town, there's just asses just wandering around. Remember that one family? They like went crazy because a donkey tried to go into their minivan. They like opened the side door
Yeah,
and a
God.
donkey started crawling up in there. They were screaming. It was so funny.
We had two donkeys with their heads in our window.
I remember the
and I
video
was
of that.
freaking out.
Casey's screaming in the
God,
passenger seat as the
God.
donkey comes in. Oh, that was so funny.
Okay, Casey, your turn.
Yeah.
America.
Would Danny prefer McDonald's or Taco Bell?
McDonald's. The quarantine, every day of quarantine where we didn't eat out, Dan's like, when can I eat McDonald's again? When can I eat McDonald's?
It's that Big Mac bundle box meal. Like it's $12, two Big Macs. It's great.
Do you eat that whole thing
Oh
yourself?
my god, yeah. Absolutely.
No, you don't.
Yeah, I have. I've actually eaten two myself at one night.
Holy
Oh
crap.
my god.
I'm a fucking
Disgusting.
I could easily eat 2 Big Macs on like a daily basis.
Grilled cheese or mac and cheese? Ooh, that's a tough one. Two
That's a
favorite
really
things
good one.
ever.
Mac and cheese.
Mac and cheese?
Yeah,
She's right.
100%.
Okay.
Especially because you ruined the grilled cheese with the melt.
Yeah.
You made him do that
The
challenge.
melt experience, that was something else.
Oh yeah, that was Cleveland.
Yeah. What was it like it was like 30-pound grilled cheese sandwich or something?
Was it
It's just
that
like
much?
a
MERICA. So we went to this place that they did melted, like, it was kind of like that Cheesy's place in Chicago,
Yeah.
where it was all the different grilled cheeses. And it was a challenge where you get this grilled cheese sandwich. It was massive. I mean, it had to be a whole loaf of bread. Like that's what it looked like. And it was all different cheeses. I think it was 14 pounds.
Yeah,
And then it was a pound of fries.
and
then
a pound of coleslaw.
A pound of coleslaw.
That's disgusting.
And it was like $70, but if you ate the whole thing, you got it for free. And he tried so. Did you finish it? No.
I didn't.
He
No,
tried
no
so
way.
hard.
How much
But-
cheese did you eat?
It was because 14 pounds. It was only like 2 pieces of bread. It was still this 2 pieces of bread per sandwich, so it was this much cheese. They can't see my hands, but
Oh
it was
my
a good
gosh.
amount of cheese.
You must have like not pooped
Oh
for
my
a week.
I was so bound up. It was ridiculous.
You didn't eat grilled cheese for like a year.
Yeah.
Yeah, a whole year I didn't eat grilled cheese.
And that
Every
was
time you
his
see grilled
favorite.
cheese, like bleh.
Yeah, and grilled cheese was his favorite, so we thought for sure he's like, I got this.
America.
America.
He's like, I got this for sure. It's grilled cheese. It's my favorite thing. I eat 14 pounds of grilled cheese a day at home. And then after that, he's like, never again. He just recently started eating grilled
Yeah, I
cheese.
did. It scarred me.
It doesn't get more American than fried cheese, though.
Yeah.
I think that's it.
That's true. Okay, and the last question about Danny is, would Danny rather have edible spaghetti hair that regrows every night or sweat maple syrup?
Definitely the hair.
Really?
Because he gets so freaked out by things.
I'm
that
just
are
such a sweat,
sticky.
Jess, you know.
And he
We're
sweats so
sweaty
much.
people. Imagine if I was
Well,
sticky on top of
Sweaty hands.
Yeah. That's like you're calling me out.
Wait a second. I have very clammy hands all the time.
That's
Yeah.
what I feel.
Oh, now they're stuck together.
There's
She'll
no
calls
way.
me the frog. Like
Yeah. Like,
When I was-
oh, yeah. Go ahead.
When I was younger, and Jill would,
America.
Eric.
when I was younger and my siblings would make me angry, I'd just take my really clammy hands and grab both their arms and just go down. I'd pull out all their hair.
It's painful.
It's just like I'm like
really
Spider-Man.
painful. She does that. Well, like we're watching a TV show. She gets really worked up during some like a high-speed car chase, or like someone's trying to figure something out. Like she gets real worked up, and it all comes through in her hands. And she'll always have her hand on me, and then she'll go to move it and be like,
Yeah.
"You're a frog. You're like climbing up the walls right now. Relax. It's just the TV. It's just Jeopardy. It's fine."
If Danny puts his hand on my pants, I can feel sweat through my pants.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Remember, you were so cute though as a little kid because you would carry around the tissues in your pocket to clean your hands, which
I
was
tried
so
everything.
cute. I know.
Never
But
worked.
you have to embrace it. You are who you are.
That's one thing that I hope comes from this whole coronavirus situation is no more handshakes.
Yeah.
Like for interviews or seeing people, just no more handshakes.
That's funny.
Maybe fist bumps.
America. You know, I never even thought of that would be a good thing because to me, I'm a handshaker. Like I like that connection that's made when you meet somebody.
Mhm.
I feel like it kind of
It's a
eases the
luxury
situation.
I don't have, Julian.
Yeah, sorry. Never thought there'd be people who'd be like, yeah, I'm so excited not to ever touch people again.
I'm with Danny on that. Yeah.
Jess knows.
Okay, well, I mean, I think you guys passed. I think you guys can get married now. You passed
Okay.
our little test. We give you our blessing.
Yeah.
The tails over L's blessing. But I thought, let's ask the whole group a couple of would you rather questions. So, guys, would you rather be compelled to high five everyone you meet, or compelled to give wedgies to anyone wearing a green shirt? It's very important. Think long and hard.
Okay, we all know Danny's answer.
Green shirt.
So you'd rather touch someone's underwear than
Oh,
give them a
wait.
high five because you don't like.
It depends if that person is as sweaty as I am.
America.
Okay.
But what if people don't wear underwear?
Oh.
Then you just pull their pants up, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. That's true. What do you think? I would love to high five everybody. I wish I was.
No.
I feel like you already do that, basically.
I'm
That's who you are.
like that person that comes in the room. Hey, oh yeah, hey, how you doing? How you doing? At work, people are like, God, here she comes again. The high fives.
I'm a germaphobe, so
Yeah.
people are dirty. Some people don't wash their hands.
But some people
But
don't
their
wash their
underwear.
asses.
That's a good
Right. What's worse, a dirty hand or a dirty ass?
But you're just touching the waistband, like just.
Yeah.
I would do the wedgies.
I honestly, after this whole coronavirus, I'd probably do wedgies.
Yeah, I would too.
I would do the high fives.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to get beat up.
America.
All right. Would you guys rather have skin that changes color based on your emotions, or tattoos that appear all over your body that depicts what you did yesterday?
Tattoos.
Tattoos. That would be awesome.
What was
Yeah.
the other option?
You guys don't do a lot of exciting
Skin
things.
that
then.
changes color. Based on
That'd
your
be the-
emotions,
that'd be
like a
what's
mood
so
ring.
cool about it.
Oh, definitely the skin, so people know when to not bother me.
See, that's what I was thinking. That could be a useful tool.
We have that in my apartment, actually. We have this moon that sits in the middle of the table, and my roommate changes the color if she doesn't want to be bothered.
Oh my God, really?
Yeah, like-
Erin does that.
So it goes like clear, blue, or red, and when it's red, you don't talk to Erin at all.
Erin, we want you on our show.
She
You're
wants to
next.
come.
She's one of our fans. She likes all my Facebook posts. So, cheers to Erin.
Cheers.
Cheers, Erin.
All right. Also,
America.
So, America, land of the free, home of the drunk. We're gonna play a game called Two Truths and One Lie, because Danny happens to be a budding historian. He's going to school for history. He's going to be like Indiana Jones. I don't really understand what he's doing, but he's doing it with all his heart. And he's going to start eventually. You're going to start a history podcast, right?
Correct.
That's very exciting. If you need any tips on successful podcasts, you know who to talk to, right? We're right here. We've made all the mistakes you could possibly make. So we're going to quiz you on your history knowledge with two truths and one lie. Okay? So here's the first one. I'm going to name three things. Obviously, pick out the lie. It's in the name. Okay. The current flag was designed by a 17-year-old as part of a high school project. 3 presidents died on July 4th. The oldest city in America is Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
America. I think that the lie is the first one about the 17-year-old.
You are wrong.
I'm wrong?
You're wrong.
Oh, wow.
It was actually designed by a 17-year-old as part of a school project, and the teacher gave him a B-. And then when the White House picked the flag, he changed it to an A.
Oh, geez.
Well, that's good.
The lie is that the oldest city in America is Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. The oldest city in America is actually St. Augustine, Florida.
Oh,
Look at that.
interesting.
We're all always learning, right? Okay, this is another one. You're going to get this one, I know it. The Constitution was modeled after the Constitution of Iroquois Confederacy of Native American tribes. 1 president was born on July 4th. Congress officially declared its independence on July 4th, 1776.
The lie is the last one. The independence was declared on July 2nd. It was called the Resolution of Independence, and that's when they declared their independence from Britain.
Awesome. You got it right. You did.
Yeah.
You got it.
Now, what date was the Declaration of Independence signed?
The 8th.
I think it's the 4th.
I think it's August 2nd.
August 2nd?
Merca.
Yeah.
Everyone forgot the word. I just blanked for a
Merca.
second. I raised my beer but forgot Merca. The Declaration of Independence was signed on July 4th. That's why we celebrate July 4th.
Are you sure?
I'm
Sound
pretty
really
sure.
confident.
We don't know anything about
Well-
America, guys. We've lived here our whole lives.
Well, like back then, the communication traveled so slowly, so like the British didn't know that America declared their independence until August 30th. It took that long.
Wow.
The final draft of the Declaration of Independence was signed on August 2nd, 1776.
Ooh.
No.
Wow.
Got it.
So when was the first draft signed?
July 4th, 1776.
The most
I'm going
important
with
draft.
that. Merca. So you know a lot about what made you get into history?
Honestly, it's from my dad. he's a huge history buff. He always has History Channel on, and also the Indiana Jones films that he showed me at a very young age. It just intrigued me. As I love learning about history. I really love that you can connect to someone that's lived so far away. You know, in such a distant. Because some of these people, they lived in different worlds almost, and when you get to study them and get a feel for, you know, what they thought, you know, they were just people like us. They had awkward conversations and a favorite color, and it's cool to like study them and kind of connect to someone that far away.
Yeah. So, any particular history that you like better?
I what I'm going to go to school for and what I study the most right now is Renaissance era. I love the Renaissance. I think it's such a beautiful time in history where art and science and all these, you know, things were celebrated and whatnot. And that's definitely my favorite.
That's cool.
I agree with that. When I loved history, when I was in school, I absolutely loved it. I was a big fan of it. And when I was in college and I had to pick a history class, I picked Renaissance. Because I knew
America.
that would intrigue me more than any of the other ones. And it for sure did, by far. I love history.
You ever been to a Renaissance fair?
In Florida, they used to have them every single year, and I did go to one. It's really
so
cool. Yeah.
It's a lot of fun.
It is.
I used to go. There was a dance competition at a Renaissance fair. So I'd go do my dance competition, and then you walk to the other side, and it's like a huge Renaissance fair. And my brother would get like these like dragon things, and everyone would be in costumes, and I would be not in costume. Like, but it was really fun.
Have you ever been to Williamsburg, Virginia?
America.
When we were younger, when I was younger, we did go. I don't really remember it. I would love to go though. That sounds so cool. We were actually in Newport, Rhode Island recently, and right there is Jamestown, which is a very old kind of colonial town like that, which we didn't get a chance to go to, but I would love to go. It was so interesting.
Growing up, every summer we went to Williamsburg. My dad was all into history, like he watched the old-timey things and all that stuff, and I used to hate it. I was like, why again? Like every year we're going here. But now I'm so thankful, and we're actually, I think we decided we're going back there in August to Williamsburg to just like check it out, because I just want to get our son like into it. But I love it. It's it's amazing, like Pocahontas Town, all of that stuff. Like it's so amazing. The ghost tour, everyone dresses up as if they're back in time, like America.
The ghost tour was the best part about Williamsburg. I love that walking ghost tour.
Yes.
Well, you know, and that's another thing that really piqued my interest in history at a young age, is that almost every summer my father would take us to Gettysburg, and we camped in Gettysburg. And that's a very similar place, you know, a lot of history there, ghost tours. That's my favorite part. I love the ghost tours and stuff like that.
Oh yeah. So Jess has something very interesting to bring up, and this has always cracked me up. Now this subject has come up a couple of months ago when we were allowed out in the world. Me and my parents went to Bethlehem, downtown Bethlehem, and we did this like historic. It was like a historic walking tour, and we walked down towards the end of Main Street in Bethlehem, and there was this place called the Sun Inn. And I didn't even know it was there. And it was like, it's a really historic old inn that's been there for so, I mean, you wouldn't believe, you should go there, especially if they like history. You wouldn't believe the people that stay there, that George Washington stayed there.
Oh.
Which is crazy. This place has been around for a really long time. So when I got home, I said to Jess, I said, you wouldn't believe it. We went to the Sun Inn. George Washington stayed there. And her reaction was,
Did he really?
Right.
Did he really?
Did he really?
Did he really?
And then
America.
And I go, well, they had a picture of him there, and they said that he did. And then she goes,
How do they know what George Washington looked like?
What?
well, you know, she's being a little tame about it. Her initial reaction was like, I don't believe that George Washington was real.
Oh, well, yes. That
Was
I'm
real.
sorry. All right, let's take it back there. I don't believe he was real.
Like as in a living person?
Yeah, I mean, like, that was so far, way back there. See, I'm the kind of person where, like, if I don't see it, I don't believe it, right?
Danny has no idea what to say.
So, you have all these pictures of George Washington, but how did they get these pictures of him? Fact. 1839, America's first exposure to photography, okay? That's when the camera came out. George Washington was born in 1732. How do you get a picture of this man?
You
It's
don't.
a painting.
Oh.
You guys didn't think of that?
Wow.
It's like that one when he was in Trenton on the boat, right?
Yeah,
Like,
what do you think?
they
Like,
like,
oh,
George.
It's
Snap.
George, over here, George.
I don't know what
Painted
is
it.
sadder. I don't know if it's sadder that she was convinced he didn't exist because there was no photography, or if it's sadder that I didn't say they painted him. Like, I didn't think of that. I was like, what do you mean? People talk about it. They write about it in books. It's got to be real. He was the first president. She's like, prove it. How did they get a picture of him? I never once said painting.
I was thinking of like drawing. Like there were
They used to sit for
people drawing
portraits.
all the
Yeah.
time.
People would sit for portraits, especially rich people and famous people.
Yeah, I mean a lot of famous
Do you
paintings
believe now?
were painted back in those times,
Yeah,
like
of
way
course.
back
I
when,
mean,
like the
it's
Mona
very,
Lisa.
very detailed.
What was that?
The pictures of him are very detailed.
Because
sit
they're
there
in
for
front of
hours.
him. Like they're sitting in front of them as they paint. I don't understand what's happening. America.
Okay, the next time we go to Washington D.C., we have to tour the White House so you can see the paintings of all the other presidents.
I would like to see the first original painting of George Washington.
It probably burned
I'll
down
look it up.
somewhere.
I'll look it up. I'll find it.
Yeah, we'll find it.
Dang, I didn't even think of that.
Do you feel better now? Do you feel better now, though? At least knowing it's not a lie?
I don't know, is it?
She's still not
Come
convinced.
Who
on.
has possession of this painting?
How do we know anyone didn't just paint those in 1845? Because they felt like it. They could have redone
And then she
everyone.
starts going to this whole thing like, well, how do you know anyone was alive back then? Remember this whole conversation? Like, it made my brain hurt because it was almost like I didn't know what to say because I can understand the logic, I guess, but then also didn't understand the logic. So, America. So she's going, well, I know that my grandparents lived and my great-grandparents lived, but then after that, and I'm like, well, where do you
You
think?
are proof that they lived.
Right, yeah. It's just, it's so hard to imagine things that happened so long ago.
I agree.
It's very,
Absolutely.
very.
And that's
it's
why,
so
that's why I
interesting.
said I love learning about history because you really get to. It's like you're opening a window into a totally different world.
Yeah.
You know.
What if it's all a lie? What if we're just brainwashed?
Yeah, like you
It's a
have
lie,
to believe
man.
these things.
We've become the conspiracy
Oh, yeah,
podcast.
that was a conspiracy theory podcast. Guess what? We didn't land on the moon either.
It's funny that you guys say that about America because we're actually a very young country. Like
Yeah.
these other countries have been around so much longer than America has.
Yeah.
Like our history is so small.
Yeah, especially
Yeah,
like
compared to
Italy.
Right.
Oh.
You know how long their history is?
Greece.
Greece?
America.
Oh my god.
America.
America. I want to go to Greece so bad and I want to learn
So
all
bad.
about theater and
Yeah.
just
I recently took a classic mythology course at ESU and it was so interesting learning about like how they operated their theaters and stuff like that. I would love to go there and see some of that stuff they did.
yes. Yep.
So Casey, do you love history as much as Danny
No.
does? So when he's listening to like the Dead President podcast or whatever,
Okay.
what
so
are you doing?
This is what happens. Danny turns this podcast on as I start to fall asleep. So I hear them in my sleep only. And when I wake up, I turn them off while he's sleeping. And then when we go on trips, we just went on a trip to Rhode Island. And we went to the White Horse
Tavern.
And it was the
cool.
very first tavern in America. And we're sitting outside of it, having our drink. We had just gotten engaged. And Dan's literally panicking. He's like, this is the first tavern. It's so America. It's so amazing. I can imagine the people that have sat in this very spot.
So this tavern was built in 1673,
Oh my gosh.
and that's almost 400 years of history of people sitting there. The first settlers sat there and drank away their problems where I was sitting. Isn't that magical?
Yeah.
And then I feel it.
And in that moment, you didn't have any problems.
No.
You were just engaged.
Yeah, exactly. It was perfect.
True.
You know what's so funny is that you fall asleep listening to his podcast, this history podcast. You probably know just as much as history as him because if you think about it, people do that. Like they'll listen to things while they're sleeping to learn them.
Yeah, they say you retain more knowledge in yourself.
Yeah,
Well,
so
actually-
she probably could spit out history facts. So we should have been testing her.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, I looked into it. It's if you listen to something that you've already learned in your sleep, it helps solidify it in your memory.
So he re-listens to podcasts
I really
America.
in his sleep.
So that was very interesting about the White Horse Tavern. We have a history of going to the Black Horse Tavern. Is
Oh,
that
yeah,
what-
the Black Horse. Yeah.
The Black Horse
That's
Tavern.
the rival.
It's the rival. Is probably the crappiest place you'll ever go in your whole life.
Crappiest tavern.
If you're a
in America.
germaphobe, you do not want to go
Do
there.
not go there.
It is gross.
One time I had to go to the bathroom there, and it was I felt like really wrong. Every cell in my body was like, no. But this tavern is famous because serial killers used to sit there and pick out their victims from out the window. Who were they? They were famous serial killers. Who was it? Ted Bundy?
It was Ted Bundy, and then who was that?
John Wayne Gacy.
John Wayne Gacy. They used to actually sit together and talk about it, and then
At
like
this
take
tavern.
bets.
That's
And
crazy.
this tavern has literally not been updated since that time.
It's gross. It's so gross. Like you go in the bathroom, and there's like graffiti. There's graffiti inside the urinal.
What?
Like on the inside of the urinal, there's graffiti. Like that's how gross this place
So
is.
do you think that bar's like shtick? That's their thing.
That is.
Yes, that is their
when
thing.
we first went to Chicago, we're like, let's find a dive bar. And when I googled dive bars, it was like, the dive bar where serial killers are going. I was like, obviously, we're going to go there.
Yeah.
Obviously. It's like not even a second.
And then we were in
Dude.
Chicago and went there, and they had a Mets flag hanging outside. So we're like, this is where we gotta go.
Yeah. Of course they would like
And they
the
walked
Mets.
in, and we're like, ugh.
Yeah, we hung out there for about
Yeah, we were
4.5 hours. We got drunk off old styles.
Yeah.
And so then we went to Chicago a second time, and they took me and Jess. You know, they're hyping up this bar. They're like, this is where serial killers were. Like, oh man, we're gonna get some old styles. So me and Jess were like, this bar must be cool. We walked in and we looked at each other and we were like,
They were
where the hell did they bring us? We were just, like and we both had to use the bathroom, and I was like, okay, like let me go first. And I went out and I said,
America.
I
Do
said,
not go in
Jess,
there."
do not go in there.
Yeah. So we hyped up this bar. It was disgusting bar, and old styles are also disgusting. So like we took them to a crappy bar and fed them crappy beer. And they're like, "This is awesome, right?" And they're like, "No."
You're
can
like,
we
really?
go?"
All of Chicago. All of Chicago. This is
Well,
what you
yeah,
take?
because after the first beer, Jess was like, I need gin and tonic or something.
Something stronger.
Something to
Stronger.
sanitize this bar.
Yeah.
Something strong.
Yeah, we could not.
I love that place. I'd still go back.
Yeah.
Listen, I bet after coronavirus, they probably shut down. That's
Yeah.
probably where Chicago got most of their cases.
Yeah, that place was gross. See how fun history is, though, guys?
I love history.
Serial killers and all that. I like that kind of history.
Oh, yeah.
I'm into that.
Yep.
The dark history.
Dark history,
Yeah.
like the dark web. Anyone know how to get to the dark web? Anyone?
No, don't. What? Let's not talk about this on the
True.
podcast. So sorry.
I'm so sorry, dark webbers.
They're gonna find us.
America. But, you know, I don't know.
But it's just
Excuse me.
like when we did the Prohibition tour. I loved that. I like soaked that in. I thought that was amazing.
That's
You guys would love that.
Absolutely.
Do you know that after Prohibition ended, the first beer that was delivered to the White House was Yingling
Mm-hmm.
on Clydesdale horses.
Ooh.
On the Budweiser Clydesdale horses.
Interesting.
That's very
No,
cool.
weird.
Very interesting.
Yeah, that's a fun fact.
And we went to like Al Capone's brothel. And it was so, and I was like walking on the floor and I'm like, oh my gosh.
Imagine, imagine Al Capone's here who totally picked me. She was so fucking full of herself.
I'd be wearing a corset and everything for you.
But you guys love traveling as much as we do.
Yes.
Absolutely.
You know, they have their own,
America.
they have their own, what's that called?
Life Beyond the Bird.
Life
Instagram.
Beyond the Berg. It's an Instagram account. It's a kind of like a documenting of their travels across the United States, right?
Yeah.
When I first moved to Vegas to move in with Jess, they drove from Pennsylvania, crossed the country to Vegas, and then back. And you guys went to some really interesting places.
We did a lot of national parks. That's
Yeah.
what we did. We did a lot of camping in national parks, which was a great experience. And we actually just recently set a new goal, and it's all 50 states by the age of 25. So
And you guys are
22, 21. So her 25.
Yeah.
Hopefully
Okay,
my
okay.
25, but her 25.
well. That's cool. So we have a map up here on our wall in our studio of states that Jess and I have been to together.
That's
No.
what we're doing
We
too.
have that
This
as
was
well.
a big thing for us though because we have been to a lot more states than this.
Right.
But we haven't been there with each other.
More
America.
Oh my
America.
god, I was just about to say oi.
I was about to
blanked.
as
I was
well.
there twice. Merca. But I would love to get to see all 50 states. So if you guys go on any states that you'd like us to tag along, let us know.
Oh, absolutely.
Same
We'll
here.
come with
We
you.
can rent a van. Well, I'll just go.
Well, we have 20 states left. So
Yeah.
Oh
we
my
already
gosh.
did- yeah, we
Wow.
so like we did what almost 30. We have 22 states left. I'm
22.
sorry.
We're
But-
planning on trying to get 2 more this summer, so maybe we'll just figure out a trip.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that'd be
This
fun.
summer is kind of sketchy.
Well, we don't talk to people.
So what do you count?
we like to go to the woods.
Do you
so.
count like going to the state
yeah.
and eating a meal? or
What
like,
we
do you-
do is we have to have a memory. We don't count drive-through states. So like we've driven to Florida, but we don't count Georgia because we didn't stay in Georgia.
Right.
So I think that's going to make our goal once we achieve it that much more impressive because we've actually gone like Iowa, the #1 drive-through state. What's in Iowa? Honestly, not even potatoes. That's Iowa.
America, like
America.
We
like
don't
drive-through,
follow.
mean they have the most drive-through restaurants, or the
No,
most
like
drive-through-
Driven
you just
through.
drive through it to
Just
go to
drive
the
through.
next state. Yeah, but we made a point to stop.
Don't shake your head at me, Michaela. I will lean across this table and slap you.
I'm like, what a dumb bitch. How dare you embarrass us right now?
There's a legit question. I'm sure our 7 listeners probably have the same question. I'm just clarifying for the listeners. I already knew the answer. Anyway.
So if we stop for lunch or we find something, like if we're just gonna drive through, we'll find somewhere to like go see something there, so we can kind of get a feel for what the state, or at least part of the state, is like, so that we can cross it off. Like Texas, we went to the Cadillac Ranch where
Oh,
like,
that was so
the
interesting.
Cadillacs are like in the
Texas?
ground.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
wanna
that was
see
really
that.
cool. Texas, we have to go back to because we just hit the northern part, the Panhandle. But there was like this right off the highway. There's like 12 1950s Cadillacs, like half nose deep, buried in the sand.
So
America.
cool.
America.
America.
They have something like that in Vegas, don't they?
Covered in graffiti.
That's really cool.
It is cool.
Or Nevada. Don't they have something like in the desert somewhere over there that you wanted to go? It wasn't Texas because we couldn't drive there from
No, it wasn't Cars. I don't think it's Cars.
something like
I know we did the Magic Rocks.
Yeah, Seven Magic Mountains or something.
Now, I think what was really neat when we went to Vegas and we went to, what was it, Red Rock? That was such a hidden gem for us. Because, like, I went to Vegas when I was younger and we went to the Grand Canyon. We just, like, took the drive over. We went to the Hoover Dam and all that stuff. But going there, and I was like, I just want to see something, like, really, like, nature, whatever. And Joe was like, there's, like, Red Rock by us, whatever. And I'm like, yeah, like, let's just check it out. Beautiful. It
Yeah, that
was
was beautiful.
amazing.
We did not.
We
no.
did that with my parents came out
Yeah.
there, and then when you guys
Yeah.
or whoever was for, but we went. But yeah, that
Yeah.
was
America.
that was awesome. I mean, those
Yeah.
those mountains there, and
Were
especially
crazy.
coming from Pennsylvania.
Right.
And even like originally from New York and going upstate New York, and then coming to Pennsylvania, everything's so green. And then you go there and there's mountains, but they're just red
Bare.
and
They're
brown
bare.
and like.
Yeah.
I mean, when the sun sets, it was gorgeous. I mean, driving
was.
around Vegas was really gorgeous. And
Yeah.
I've seen probably, the best mountains I've ever seen, obviously, were the Rockies, in my opinion, when I went to Colorado.
Oh,
No,
we
no.
went to the Smoky Mountains in Tennessee.
Smoky
which
Mountains
are
on my
really
list.
nice.
I'd love to see that.
That was really beautiful. I was just gonna say that similar to the Red Rocks in Sedona, Arizona, where we stopped. I don't know if any of you have ever been. One of the most beautiful places in America, in my opinion. They have Cathedral Rock, which is there's a swimming hole that we went to right below it, and these
Wow.
beautiful red rocks, and there's like 3 of them, and it makes Tower
America.
But yeah, that was beautiful.
Sedona, I hear about a lot with like spas or meditation retreats, and you fucking asshole. Oh god. Okay, Michaela's out of the room right now getting beers. Let's talk shit about Michaela. Everyone say the worst thing they know about Michaela. She doesn't wear underwear.
I can't do that.
She won't bring her friend beers. She's a hoe. A show.
That was just you.
I love you, Michaela.
Anthony's agreed with all things and then said he loved you, but it's a lie.
It's a lie.
I keep getting the finger. Why is it I keep getting the finger during these broadcasts? You know? Oh no, not you. I take it back. You're the only one who hasn't given me
Cool.
the finger.
Yeah.
Although once we start drinking towards the end of the night, I know when Anthony gets drunk because it starts America. It starts with him going like this. Oh, I got something for you. Hold on. And then he gives me the and then he just gives me the finger for like an hour straight. It's like how hasn't the finger gone out of style?
You really triggered
Out
her.
of style.
You really upset her.
She is triggered.
Triggered. Oh, you brought me one. I take everything I said back. Thank you very much, Michaela. So, you guys have 22 states left. What is number one on your list of your states? Top states you guys want to go to?
California.
I was just about to say that.
For all the
absolutely.
national parks, not for the reasons people would think.
Oh,
There's so many amazing national parks there.
Joshua Tree, Sequoia, just so many beautiful places that this. We have. Oi.
America.
Oh,
He's a listener!
I am sorry.
Alright, you have to drink twice though.
Okay.
You still get punished even though we're very touched.
Like those redwoods, I really want to see those.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's where you
I
drive
wanna
the
climb
cars
one.
through the.
Yes, they have
Trees,
one tree
right?
that's just so massive you could drive like a 16-wheeler through it or
Yeah.
something. It's
My
it's
gosh.
crazy how big these trees grow.
I want to climb one. You ever see the guys who climb them?
Yeah,
Like
it's
the
crazy.
I
documentary?
haven't. That's
The guy
scary.
climbs up there and he sleeps up there for like a week. You know,
What?
taking like video, like he works for like National Geographic or
Oh, that's
something.
Wow,
so cool.
that is
And then
so
comes
awesome.
back down. Yeah, he sets up a tent up there and everything. It's
That's
awesome.
impressive. You ever see those hammocks that they put over mountains?
Yeah.
Where it's like you're literally thousands of feet below you and you're sleeping on it? How do people do that?
Well, what is that one mountain? Dang, I can't remember the name of it. I gotta look it up. But there's this one documentary. This guy climbs it.
Oh, it's in Yosemite Park.
America.
Yeah, Yosemite.
America.
America.
And like he freehand climbs it, and it takes him 3
It's
weeks.
just- and you remember how like the wall was just a flat surface?
Yeah.
Like how do you do that? You have to have some strength.
It took him 3 weeks. He climbs up a little bit, sets up a tent hanging off the side of like a vertical cliff,
Jeez.
and then like for 3 weeks, and then climbs up a little bit as far as he can, and then sets up a camp and stays there. Like it's crazy.
My hands are already clammy.
Just climbing up the wall.
Thinking about that.
Side note. America.
America.
When you guys say you guys like went camping on like the national parks, right? Did you ever get afraid of like animals?
Yes.
This one right here.
When I have to walk to the bathroom without my contacts in, I get afraid of bears. But
Well,
other than
But
that,
bears, like no, like wolves or like anything like
Well,
that.
Coyotes.
when we went to, was it in Colorado or was it the Smokies, where they said, listen, like this is prime bear season. You have to
The
be careful.
Smokies.
We actually saw a bear while we were driving through it, just run across the road. So there were definitely a lot of bears prevalent.
it's cub season when we went, so they were
That's
with
when
the
they're most
babies,
aggressive.
and then they're the most aggressive because they're protecting the young. But I didn't. We don't camp in the middle of nowhere in the mountains. Like I need a bathroom, so
Right.
we camped in campgrounds where you're less likely to see like
Mhm.
crazy wild animals
Right.
or like get attacked.
What's
So-
the craziest wild animal you've ever seen?
Probably a black bear.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, grizzly bear.
America.
America.
And when you go camping, you bring a gun or pepper spray.
My mom got, before we went on this trip, my mom got me a bear horn, a snake bite kit. Like, I was equipped, so I wasn't worried at all.
Oh, that's awesome.
But if you ever go through Arizona, and there's this place called Bearizona, and it's this little zoo where you drive through, and there's bears everywhere just roaming around. And I actually got a really cool picture where, like, I opened up my window, and probably 3 feet away was a big grizzly bear just lounging on the rock in the sun. It was so surreal to be able
Yeah,
to
it's
be that
crazy.
close to something like that.
I'll never forget. Me and 3 friends, we decided, I was living in Florida, I came up to visit, and we were like, we're gonna go camping. My friend found this really cool spot, like in like the national park somewhere. So we went, it was like, you had to like hop over a river and like go down, like, so we found it. It was right by this waterfall, beautiful. We pitched the tent, everything, we have all this
America.
All of a sudden, starts getting dark out, and we see these eyes popping up
Oh no.
all around us. So her boyfriend goes, those are coyotes. We're at their watering spout. So at like 10 o'clock at night, we had to pack up everything what we could and hike back up this damn mountain because she thought it was so freaking cool. She found a great camping spot by a waterfall, and we had to like go over the river. Everyone's
Through the
phones
woods.
were dead but mine.
Oh no.
So I was the only one that had the flashlight on my phone. So I'm like going over the river, then turning it back so they can all do it. And then my friend, she lost her backpack. It rolled down the mountain. And I'm literally gripping the dirt going up this mountain. Like, it was a 90-degree mountain. And I'm just, like, gripping it, trying so hard. And the coyotes followed us.
Yeah, they're waiting for one of you to fall and break your ankle.
It was
America.
It was so petrifying that by the time we got back up, my friend at the time ran for the car. We got cell phone reception, so we called our other friend, who's an EMT, and she, like, booked it to where we were, found us. It was the most awful thing ever.
Someone get Jess a handkerchief for her hands.
Would you ever pitch a tent in your backyard?
Yeah, I've done that before.
We were supposed to do that 4th of July.
Yeah.
And your
I
mom-
know, what the hell?
You guys still can.
America. Why don't we do that?
Why weren't you doing that?
Because we don't have a tent.
I have a 4-person.
Are you guys gonna hang out with us, sleep with us?
Yeah, it's 4 people.
In
1,
the
2, 3,
tent.
4.
No.
We'll all be tent mates.
I'll pitch the tent for you, and then I'll sleep in Danny's room. And you can sleep in the tent.
Casey's so bougie now that she has a diamond ring. You walking funny? Is your arm like weighing
Yeah, it's
down
really
a little
heavy.
bit? Yeah.
I told Danny I couldn't drive on the way home from New Hampshire because I would get distracted by my
6-hour
hands
drive,
and I would
mind
crash
you.
the car.
I drove all the other
that's
days.
like after Jess and I got engaged, she would do everything with her left hand. But even at home, I bought the ring. I already know what it looks like. But at home, she'd be like, get me this thing. I'm like, stop waving the ring in front of my face. I had it for like 3 months before you did. It's like, look at my, just can you grab that for me? I'm like, all right, good.
If I ever take a picture in the mirror, I usually use my right hand, and I
No,
start
you
using
use
my
the
left
left,
one.
yeah.
I didn't even notice I was doing it. You just,
Word.
it's like a, do you notice you're doing it?
Yes,
Do you do it on
100%
purpose?
on purpose.
I wasn't doing it.
Just wait, Michaela will soon be
I
doing
grab
it as
everything
well.
on my left.
Listen, me and my one old coworker, we were talking, and because her and her boyfriend, he's like sending her rings, and she's like, no, I want it bigger, and so forth. And I was like, what carat do
Do
you
not marry
want?
that woman.
She said
For real.
she will settle for a 2.5 carat.
Subtle.
Settle.
I
Wow.
said, are you kidding? I don't want anything bigger than 1 carat.
That's too, yeah.
I
Well,
said, that
that's
is
very
way
yeah.
too much. I said, my hand would be getting so much, like, exercise on my other fingers.
This finger
Wouldn't
would
get
be
anything.
built.
Swole.
Let me tell you something. When I got my ring, right, and my ring is perfect. I love my ring. I love the whole set. It's perfect for me. And I still, to this day, scratch myself when I'm wiping. Sometimes I scratch myself
America.
on my face. Like, I'll just have a random scratch. I'm like, ring scratch. I already know what it is. Like, and I've had it for a while, and I'm still scratching myself. I couldn't imagine 2.5 carats.
Right, that's what I'm
I would
saying.
get that shit. I would have holes in all my
No.
clothes.
I'm not,
I would be caught on everything.
right. I'm like, what is his price range? Because if Anthony spent more than like $2,300, I would lose my mind. I'd be
Right.
like, absolutely.
Are you
not.
kidding
Like,
me? We have a gas bill. $2,300 fucking dollars on a ring.
Tales over ales.
What's brewing?
Actually, I had a request for you to be on this podcast from a listener.
Oh, from one of your many viewers.
Yes. They said we should have you on because you are hilarious.
Oh, well, thank you. I take after my sister. I learned all my best material from her.
Thank you.
That was a good
It's
one.
it's an ongoing battle in our family.
Now he's funnier than I am, so it's upsetting. But it's funny because it was your nephew, Kyle.
Yes.
Hi, Kyle.
Hi,
Thank you for
Kyle.
listening.
Shout out to Kyle.
Oh,
Shout out to
Kyle
Kyle.
is married with 2 kids now.
two adorable kids.
Oh my gosh.
May I say?
They're adorable. That's adorable. The last time I saw Kyle and his wife Bianca, we were at your house, Anthony's house, for a barbecue.
Right.
And she gave me the baby, and I'm
I was
holding
like,
the
what am I
baby.
going to do with this?
And the baby fell asleep. No, I knew what to do. The baby fell asleep, and then I'm sitting in the chair, and I'm like, baby falls asleep on you, you immediately,
America.
you're tired as shit. That baby is sleeping, and my eyes are rolling in the back of my head, and I'm like, and then Bianca came over, she's like, you want me to take her now? You look like you're falling asleep. I was like, yeah, probably take her. Probably safer for the baby. But Kyle is only a year older than you, and you guys used to hang out when we were younger. And do you
Yeah.
remember the time we went to that birthday party, and there was the issue with the darts? What happened there?
I don't recall that. There's an issue at darts.
Yeah, I think if Nicole, you're a listener too. If you can comment in our on our Podbean what happened with the darts, because Nicole will always bring that up. Like, do you remember when Danny threw a dart at Kyle and it hit him in the eye, or Kyle threw a dart at you? One of those things. Apologize to Kyle right now.
Kyle, I am unbelievably sorry. One thing I do remember about that barbecue is I was super jealous. Like, Kyle had really cool hair. It was like super spiky.
Oh my
and all.
God.
He had cool hair, and after that, I wanted his haircut.
We should get you guys together sometime. That'd be fun.
America.
Yeah, we have some loyal listeners. We've been doing like the Facebook ads and stuff. So we have 8 people from out of state that we have no idea who they are, and they follow us. So cheers to you guys.
Cheers.
Hello. Oregon, Tennessee, Washington, Georgia.
Hey.
Welcome to Tales Over Ales.
What's
Brewin?
Oh, you guys are the best.
I think this is a good time to bring up the states.
The states.
Yeah, does anybody know all of them?
Can anyone name
Yeah, I
all
know
the
all of them.
states? You know all of them.
Sure.
Go ahead.
Oh, I have to list them all?
Yep.
Yeah, or sing
Jill
them.
knows them in alphabetical
Well, Jill
order.
needs to do them backwards.
I don't know if I can do it backwards. I can do the alphabet backwards.
Can you sing the song, please? Because
Sure.
I've never heard the song
Here we go.
until you.
Alabama and Alaska, Arizona,
America!
Arkansas, California, Colorado, and Connecticut, and more. Delaware, Florida, Georgia, and Hawaii, Idaho, Illinois, Indiana, Iowa, still 35 to go. Kansas and Kentucky, Louisiana, Maine, Maryland, Massachusetts, and good old Michigan, Minnesota, Mississippi, Missouri, and Montana, Nebraska's 27, number 28's Nevada. Next, New Hampshire and New Jersey, and way down to Mexico. There's New York, North Carolina, North Dakota, Ohio, Oklahoma, Oregon, Pennsylvania. Now let's see. Rhode Island, South Carolina, South Dakota, Tennessee, Texas, and there's Utah, Vermont. I'm almost through. Virginia, and there's Washington, and West Virginia too. Could Wisconsin be the last one, or is it 49? No, Wyoming is the last states in the 50 states that rhyme.
This is a singing episode.
Thank you. It was very musical. It was a very musical episode. So let me tell you, learning that song, I think it might have been like 3rd or 4th grade I learned that song. And little did I know back then, oh, it's coming.
America.
Little did I know in 4th grade that learning that song would get me free drinks at bars. Because I'd be like, you know what, I bet I could name all 50 states in alphabetical order for a beer. And the bartender would go, all right, go ahead. And then I would do it, and they'd be like, here's a beer. Why don't you give me some of your history facts?
Oh, okay.
Historian.
So I was tasked with finding some cool American history facts for this podcast because it's themed, and I wanted to ask you guys, when you think of a president who is a good fighter, you think of what, like Teddy Roosevelt? Put him up, bully
Wasn't
for
he the
you.
guy in the wheelchair?
Nope, not at all.
that
was Franklin Delano
There we go.
Roosevelt.
He's actually the one
Those
teddy
ones
bears are named after.
That's true. Yes, it was.
Okay.
So funny enough that the only president in our history to be in a Hall of Fame is
America.
is Abraham Lincoln, who is in the Wrestling Hall of Fame. And he
What?
actually, yes, Abraham Lincoln is in the Wrestling Hall of Fame, and he actually went 301 is his record. It's his documented record. He won 300 fights and only lost 1 fight.
Is
all
this
those
in
fights.
boxing?
No, wrestling.
Wrestling. So
Yeah.
is this before he was president or while he was president?
This was before he was president.
Like high school wrestling.
Yes, high school
Wow.
wrestling in Lincoln, not Lincoln.
He
but
was tall though. He was a tall dude, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he was 6'5". He was a very tall dude, very scary looking actually. And one thing, when you think of Abraham Lincoln, you think of a very composed, calm person who did a lot for this country. But he was actually very quick to anger. And there's this one recorded incident where he actually got so angry at an opponent for cheating that he grabbed him with one hand and lifted him in the air by the throat.
What?
And the guy became unconscious. And he was a badass. America.
And that's the night he started fighting vampires.
Yeah. Oh, what a great movie. Abraham Lincoln Vampire Slayer, fucking phenomenal.
I've never seen it.
It's awesome.
It's an
really-
American classic.
Listen, Abraham Lincoln is my favorite president.
Because
Hands down.
he's referred to as Abraham Lincoln.
No, because his birthday is in February.
Oh,
And
us
he
too.
was the 5th president, which is my favorite number.
He was not the 5th
Oh
president.
shit. 15th.
16th.
Damn it!
Wait a second. That's staying in. That's staying in. You didn't
Okay.
research.
No, but he
I
is
don't know what
okay,
to
but
say.
he is on the penny.
And pennies are my favorite currency.
I love copper. And he died in a theater, and I was in theater. So
Wait a minute.
Apparently, Abraham Lincoln and Michaela are kindred spirits.
You could just say, like, oh, Abraham Lincoln is my favorite president.
right, I should have stopped.
Period.
That's it.
No,
Or
whatever.
do your research. Whatever. I mean,
Whatever.
yeah, Abraham Lincoln.
My favorite president would have to be JFK because he got us to the moon.
Did he though?
Did he?
Yeah, he did. 100% did.
Oh,
How
Jess?
Jess,
according
what
to
say
Red Hot
you?
Chili Peppers, it was the final frontier was built in a Hollywood basement.
No, we went to the moon. We went to the moon. I'm 100%.
We did last week.
I'm
We
100%
did.
positive.
Elon Musk just hooked us up with
Yeah.
some tickets. Yeah, absolutely.
100% positive we went to the moon.
I thought the Russians were there first.
No, they went to
Oh my
space
gosh.
first.
They were
Commie.
the first in orbit.
They went the first to
Alex-
space. We were the first on the moon.
She doesn't believe that. Look at that face.
Because the
But
picture,
are there pictures
but
of
the
it?
picture was
Yes.
painted, and paintings don't count.
That was the real photo and video.
Right.
And the most famous 5-second speech ever.
I think
America.
Boy,
America.
Double
Oh,
J.
boy.
America. I think my favorite president is Andrew Jackson.
He,
No, the only reason why is because
awful man. He's such a bad man. He actually owned a slave trading company. He wasn't just a slave owner. He owned the company that traded slaves.
seriously, I see.
Yeah.
Okay, so I did a book report on him in school,
She didn't find
and
that.
I didn't see that. I didn't see that shit. That must be like dark web stuff. So I was on the light web, and that's where it said that he like did. Wait, I don't know. Actually, was it him? Or was it Woodrow Wilson?
Oh,
you know
man.
what? Fuck
I
it.
get that confused too.
Yeah, a lot of them.
Yeah, Jackson was not a good man. He was the president during he was a general during the Trail of Tears, where
America.
hundreds of Native Americans were driven to the west out of Oklahoma on the Trail of Tears, and a lot died. It was bad. It was
Really?
a bad
Okay, well, I
situation.
take it back.
Awful.
Yeah, he was not a good guy.
They didn't call it the Trail of Tears because it was joyful.
Yeah, but wasn't he the one that did something with Aaron Burr and the federal bank, and he fought the federal
Thomas
bank?
Jefferson? You thinking of?
No. Well, he's on the $20 bill. I don't like $20.
Who's on the $1 million bill?
That's my question.
Yes, Jess has a,
Does everybody know the presidents on our currency?
Absolutely not.
Well, obviously everyone knows now that
I
Andrew
do.
Jackson's on the $20 bill.
And
Yes.
Abraham Lincoln's on the penny.
Yeah, that I could
Yeah.
have told
No,
you.
we're talking about bills.
She's
I
had
know
a
the
thing
hu-
for copper.
I know.
He's also on the $5 bill.
Is he? Jess?
Yes.
Isn't
America.
America. See?
Benjamin Franklin's on the
100.
100 and Theodore Roosevelt's on the 50?
No.
Oh.
Grant.
Grant.
Oh.
Ulysses S. Grant.
What a cool name.
Ulysses.
Ulysses.
Absolutely.
Grant.
It just brings fear when you say it.
Yeah, he was like meant to be president.
I'm Ulysses.
So who's on the $1 bill is Washington.
That's George Washington.
$5 bill is Lincoln.
Who's on the $2 bill?
$10 bill is
Hamilton.
Irrelevant.
Hamilton. Who's that?
Alexander
What?
Hamilton.
There's a
There's a
whole-
whole Broadway
there's
play
a
It's
whole
the
about
most
him.
play.
famous play in history.
That's named after him?
Fun fact.
It's about
That's-
his
that's
life.
Bill.
Saint Hamilton?
It's
now.
about his
Those are
life.
Yeah, no, I gotta see that.
As
What?
of
No
today.
way. Is he a president?
No. Alexander Hamilton was
What-
never
well, why
president.
is he on the
He's one of the
currency?
only people on the currency that was not a president.
Maybe
was
you should watch the
Secretary of
play.
Benjamin Franklin's on.
Probably. Is it about
the
him?
100.
I should watch the play.
America.
America.
Now,
It's
who's,
about him.
who's on the $2 bill? I know on the back is the signing of the Declaration.
Well,
of
you know
Independence.
what? This is part of the game that Jess
who's
has
on the
planned.
Oh, I love games.
Oh.
If anyone
Oh.
can guess,
I'll give you $2 if
you will get
$2
$2.
bill?
You will get a $2 bill that we've been saving.
I don't like $2 bills, so I'm out.
Why? Why? Because they're queer? Because that's what people say. You're as queer as a $2 bill.
Really? What?
Yeah.
No,
I
you're
said
queer as a
never heard that.
$3 bill.
No,
I've
no,
used
$2
that.
bill.
No, it's
$3
$2
bill's
I
like
think
a
it's
$2 bill.
It's
That's the whole
$2
point, though.
Is that a $2 bill?
I think it's a 3.
No, there's no $3 bill.
I think that's the point.
What is it? You're as queer as unicorns. That's
I'm
what
pretty
it
sure it's
is.
a $3 bill, actually.
It's
now
not.
you said it.
No way, it's $2. Someone look that up.
I've never heard this before.
I haven't either.
Actually, I think it is a $3 bill.
No,
Because
I think
$2
it's-
bills exist.
Yeah.
Like
America.
America. Okay, so if I had to guess who was on the $2 bill, I would say,
Well, you got
who
$2
could it
bill.
be?
Well, let me see.
Nobody
the picture.
Google it. Put your phones
on.
down.
No, he is.
What do you think, Casey? Who's on the $2 bill?
Hmm.
Come on. Somebody.
Someone else has to go first.
Danny?
Henry Clay.
Henry
Yeah.
Clay. Sacagawea.
I need a list.
Jefferson.
I have no guess.
Jefferson.
Jefferson.
Yeah,
Nobody
I,
got it, so we get to keep it for our collection.
I would have needed a list of presidents to pick from because at the moment my brain is thinking of like 2 president names only. Neither of them could be on the $2 bill.
Both of them are Trump and Obama.
Abe-
So.
Abe Lincoln, Ben Franklin. No, that's not a president. No, that's,
America.
that was as far as my brain could get.
So I actually do have an interesting fact about Thomas Jefferson, if I could share.
Yeah,
Oh,
let's-
yeah.
So Thomas Jefferson and John Adams, 2 founding fathers, were very good friends, but also bitter rivals. And they both happened to die on the same day. They both died on 1823, July 4th. So they both died exactly 50 years after the Declaration of Independence. And Thomas Jefferson's last words were, "Is it the 4th?" And John Adams' last words were, "Thomas Jefferson survives." And actually, he died 3 hours before John Adams died.
Wow.
So
That's
That's a
interesting.
cool story.
Jefferson was also the main writer of the Declaration of Independence, right?
Yeah.
So how come he was only our 3rd president? I wonder why he wasn't our first. What was it about George Washington that made him our first?
George Washington commanded the army pretty much. Back then, most
America.
Yeah, he was the commander of the army, and you know, the Battle of Trenton and all these major battles that he led and won and led to the success and eventually the independence of America.
Huh. Oh, okay.
George Washington was a very interesting character.
The only thing I ever hear about him is that he had wooden teeth, and it turns out it wasn't even true.
No, he did not have wooden teeth.
And he chopped down a cherry
It
tree.
was actually a combination of different materials in his mouth. But the thing is, he was a big fan of.
He had a lot of shit in his mouth.
He had a lot of shit in
You
his
know what I mean?
mouth. He loved red wine and dark wine, so it actually stained his teeth to look like wood, and that was a common misconception.
Really? So
Also,
if we drink a lot of red wine, will it stain our teeth?
Well, no, because
So
he
we'll
didn't
call
have
it.
teeth. It was actually made of ivory. He had ivory teeth, and it was stained
Like elephants.
like elephants. Yeah.
also, wasn't he voted first president and he didn't want the job?
He didn't want the job,
Like
but
he refused it?
Yeah, he was
Really?
unanimously
Yes.
voted.
America.
America.
I got a bunch of stuff. I would like to actually touch on fetishes, if everyone's cool with that.
Oh, Michaela loves fetishes.
I know,
Yeah,
I've heard.
We're definitely
Here's
okay
you.
with that on this podcast.
Yeah, we
You
talked
go.
about it before.
Do I need pants?
no, pants.
Just no shoes.
Yeah, no shoes. So, fun fact that I thought was very interesting is that the Statue of Liberty, the pinnacle, the image of America and liberty, has a weird toe.
What's it called?
It's called Morton's toe.
Morton's toe.
Morton's toe, and that's when your ring toe finger, whatever it may
Ring toe
be.
finger.
Yeah, that thing is longer than your
The
big
ring
toe.
So that's
Ring
the
toe,
one.
that's
That's
the
the
word.
one next to the pinky.
No,
No,
that's
it's the one
maybe
next to
Yes,
the
it
big
is.
toe.
So I'm
no,
wrong.
it's
So
I'm
it's your
wearing
second
my
One
ring
next to
toe.
the
next
pinky,
to my
you're right.
pinky.
It's wrong.
Everyone look at my foot real quick.
Oh
This
wow.
Holy crap!
So
those
the
are long
pointer
toes.
toe.
The pointer.
The pointer toe.
Would it be?
Yeah, so it's not the ring finger, it's the pointer toe. Okay.
So not the thumb toe.
Boy.
Well, that's not my case, so that's good.
Okay, well, you know what? That might be my case. I don't know. Like, my pointer toe is a little bit longer than my
Mine
toe.
You and the Statue of Liberty have a lot in common.
Yeah, I knew it.
Oh
I
my
knew it.
God.
I knew it the whole time.
You have a feeling?
I had a feeling.
Thought
Now
meant
you
it.
have to be the Statue of Liberty for Halloween.
I like that.
What costumes would match the statue? Like, you know, there's like a theme.
You
What
need
else
like a
would be?
group.
Would someone be
costume.
the Statue of or the Liberty Bell?
The
Liberty
water.
Bell, someone will be Uncle Sam.
Oh.
What do you think about Uncle Sam?
Yeah.
Uncle Sam? Uncle
He
Sam's
wants
an
you.
interesting character.
Really? Is he a real guy?
Uncle Sam is a real guy.
America.
Uncle Sam. Everybody knows Uncle Sam.
He was a real guy. How
He
did
was-
he get that post? Like,
So Uncle Sam was a real man. His full name was Sam Wilson. He lived in upstate New York, in Troy, upstate New York, and He did fight in the Revolutionary War, so that's pretty cool. And around the War of 1812, he became the U.S. Oh, he was a meat packer in upstate New York, and he
Is
became.
that code?
Meat
You know what I mean?
One of
Like a
those.
fudge packer?
Yeah, no, nothing like that. He actually packed meat.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
In a box.
In a box and everything. And he became the official inspector of rations and stuff during the War of 1812. And he would stamp everything with the U.S. as in United States symbol. And it became a thing where they said, oh, that's Uncle Sam. And it just carried on from there. And then after the War of 1812, they used him as their figure to recruit people and stuff like that.
Wow.
America.
That's amazing. You know, that kind of that goes to like this whole thought process that I had recently. I was at work, and someone mentioned to me that somebody else at my job, they called her a Karen. And I thought to myself, like, I mean, obviously she said it, and she's like way younger than me, so I was like, yeah, she is, but I had no idea what that meant. So I had to like look up what a Karen was, and it turns out it's like this middle-aged white woman who complains about things. So I didn't know that. But like
your worst nightmare.
But Uncle Sam is like one of those things where it's like your name becomes affiliated with something. I was trying to think back about like what was the first Karen, and it had to be the dudes who were named Richard way back in the day before being a dick was something terrible, you know what I mean? And like that was their name. Like they just like Dick Van Dyke.
Van Dyke?
MERICA.
MERICA.
I mean, that's crazy. I had no idea what a Karen was.
Yeah, it's like, imagine like your name's Karen and you're like, damn, now my name means...
Your whole life your
It's
name is
synonymous
Karen.
with a bitch.
Yeah, I mean like your whole life. Like imagine Jill. Well, like my whole life my name is Jill, and then all of a sudden Jill becomes known as like some terrible thing, and it's like I have to introduce, like, hey, I'm Jill. No, you know, in their head they're like, oh yeah, Jill. Oh, we already know what you're like, and it's like, no, I don't even know what you.
Funny story. We were actually out at the store today with our son, who's 10 years old, and we were in the car. We were talking about something, and he goes, "Stop being a Karen." I was like, "You're 10. Get off the internet. Like, you spend too much time on the internet."
It's crazy. Like I actually feel bad for Karen.
Yeah, I
Like
literally
I feel bad.
I looked at Anthony and I said he's watching too much TikTok. And Anthony was just like, get off the internet.
And then he's just sitting back, and then like we stop talking, and it gets all quiet in the car again, and then he just goes, "Karen."
America.
So, question, do you, going back to like John F. Kennedy, do you know anything about like Marilyn Monroe and like, did they really have a thing going on?
Oh, they had a big thing going on.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And his
Yeah.
brother, right?
Yeah,
Robert?
yeah, they were also Eskimo brothers, if you know what I mean.
We know what you mean.
Yeah, they JFK was a big philanderer. He slept around, and Lyndon Johnson actually was quite jealous of JFK, and Lyndon Johnson had a huge schlong, like a massive schlong.
Really?
And
Really?
he
Is
called.
that where Johnson came from?
You would think that Johnson's Johnson,
Yeah.
but no, it was actually he was born with the last name Johnson, believe it or not.
What?
Yeah, I know. And they actually nicknamed his penis Jumbo. Yeah.
Wow.
He would whip it out when he was America. He would whip it out when he was talking to like foreign leaders and stuff like that.
What?
Yeah.
So he was like proud of it.
He was
like,
proud
look
of
at
it.
this schlong.
Yeah.
So you want to talk trade negotiating? Look at this.
So, how big is Jumbo?
So there's a couple of different things. I've read anywhere from 10 inches to 12 inches, which is fucking massive.
Like without being like.
Flaccid.
Oh,
I'm talking
wow.
flaccid.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he's a big fella.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Was he
Jumbo.
married?
He was married. Yeah.
Yeah.
All the presidents ever elected, except for Patrick Buchanan, was married.
Damn, I
I
feel
didn't
bad
know
for
that
his
was a
wife.
president.
He was the only president from Pennsylvania.
Really?
Yeah. He was also one of the worst presidents.
Ever?
That's probably why you don't know.
That's probably why you don't know.
He always talks about it. Wow, Jumbo.
Wow.
Imagine that was your nickname.
I
Jeez.
wish. Mine's Little Winky.
America.
America.
Size doesn't matter.
That's what my mom's always said. It's not about the science. It's how they work it.
This is what her mother told her.
Very weird.
The advice I always stuck with me. Always stuck with me.
That's good, Anthony.
That's why I say it's not the size of the ship; it's the motion of the ocean.
Amen.
Oh my God.
So awkward.
So weird right now. Everyone's looking at Anthony wondering. You know, it's so funny because Jess has a thing about bulges.
What?
Yeah, she's got a thing like she can't help but look at people's bulges.
Yeah.
Look
And
at
she
her
can.
face right
So
now.
it's not like she's looking because she's sizing them
She's
up.
just curious.
MERICA.
MERICA.
She's
That's just
fascinated.
so fascinating.
Like somebody sits there spread like man spreading. She's like, you see that guy's bulge? We're in the airport. I'm like, no, no.
And it doesn't matter what your age is. I just can't.
Elderly. This guy she first
Like-
pointed out to me was elderly. It's like, look at that.
Good for him.
Yeah, good for him. It's still
That's
there.
why he
I
needs
hope
that
it
walker.
works.
Some of them are like massive, and I'm like, what's like
She can't help but look.
oh my god.
It's not my fault. The air conditioning is always freezing in here.
Yeah.
I have to point that out.
We're judging.
MERICA.
And she doesn't even care. She's well, but that goes to her being nosy. She's got to know everyone's fucking dick size at the same time.
I used to
Aggressively
have, I
average.
used to have in college this professor. He was like a big black dude, right? And I mean big, not like
We're big up here, or like you keep going. You keep
Keep
going.
pointing
I'm
down.
not being like
under the
big,
table, and I don't
muscular
know what
dude.
you
I'm
mean.
talking about like he's a little heavier set, right?
Oh,
And
okay.
he used to sit with his legs spread open like this, and you could see under the desk. So I'd just be like, I failed that class. I failed that class. I don't even know what he was saying. I just couldn't stop staring. His legs spread wide open. I'm like,
Oh my god.
This is what turned her gay. She's
Never
like,
missed
look
a
at that
class.
ass. Never again.
She never missed a class.
MERICA. Thank you guys for being with us. We
Yes,
had
thank
so
you.
much fun. Thank you for doing all of that history homework.
Yeah, I love
That's
that.
awesome. So what is next for you guys? What's coming up? What's in the near future?
Danny graduates college,
Nice.
Yeah, final semester of my bachelor's degree.
and then I graduate college, and then we get married. So big stuff.
Then you get married. You got a house.
Nice.
Yeah.
MERICA.
MERICA.
You're redoing your house. You're getting married, and
Got a lot of
you're
stuff in
gonna.
the works.
You got to be traveling. Are you traveling anywhere new?
We gotta get the rest of the states by the
Mhm.
time we're 25. So
Oh, boy.
it's 3 more years to get 22 states.
I like our odds. I think we'll do it.
I think
I
you'll do
think
it.
so too.
And I think all of our listeners should check out Life Beyond the Berg
on Instagram.
on Instagram. It's a travel blog. It's a lot of fun. They're exciting to follow. They're cool peoples. We love having them. Thank you guys for being here. And to close us out, will you guys do a Tales Over Ales for us? Will you sing our theme song for us?
Of course.
Have you guys thought about it? Because I told you beforehand we were going to do it. So, all
We
right,
just have to
we're
do
ready.
Oh my god.
Tails over L's.
What's brewing?
If you made it this far, congrats. You've completed a power hour with us.
We hope you enjoyed hanging out. I know we did.
And as always, thank you guys for listening.
Tune in next week for more trash talk and bring your friends.
Tales over ales.
What's brewing?